This simple story carries a powerful lesson: our mind is like that stream. The harder we try to control or eliminate thoughts, the more turbulent it becomes. Buddhist practice teaches us that the key to dealing with the mind is not resistance, but acceptance. Instead of trying to eliminate thoughts, we should allow them to come and go without clinging to them. This message is profound, yet accessible. It shows us that it's possible to find calm and clarity without relying on complex methods. Simply observing and accepting is enough for the mind, like the water, to naturally calm down. Next, we'll explore this lesson in more depth, connecting this teaching to the practice of mindfulness and acceptance and discovering how to apply it in our daily lives to bring more tranquility to our minds. Now that we understand the importance of mindfulness and acceptance in calming the mind, let's explore some practices that can help us incorporate these concepts into our daily lives. These strategies are simple yet powerful, inspired by Buddhist teachings to guide us toward a more peaceful mind. Breathe and observe. Breathing is a powerful anchor for mindfulness. Set aside a few minutes each day to simply sit in silence and observe your breath. There's no need to change or control it, just feel the air coming in and going out. Every time a thought arises, acknowledge it and gently bring your focus back to your breathing. This practice of redirecting attention allows you to create space between thoughts, strengthening the ability to observe them without getting lost in them. Let thoughts come and go. When a thought appears, treat it as something temporary. Say to yourself, "This is just a thought, it will pass." Imagine it as a cloud floating across the sky or a leaf drifting down the stream, following its course. By recognizing thoughts as fleeting, you reduce the tendency to hold on to them, decreasing anxiety and stress. Practice being present. Find small moments throughout the day to practice mindfulness in whatever you're doing, whether drinking a cup of tea, washing your hands, or taking a simple walk. Bring your awareness to the sensations around you, without judgment or hurry. These moments of presence create a natural pause in the mind, offering a break from the incessant flow of thoughts. By integrating these practices into your day, you'll begin to notice subtle yet powerful changes in how you deal with thoughts. Gradually, the mind becomes calmer, and your ability to observe grows, allowing you to distance yourself from rumination patterns. Consistency is key. Practicing a little every day helps to cultivate a stronger presence and a deeper sense of acceptance. Let's review the benefits these simple but powerful practices can bring. By cultivating mindfulness and acceptance, we can reduce the anxiety and stress generated by mental rumination. These practices help us create a calmer inner space, allowing thoughts to flow without clinging to them. With mindfulness, we start to experience a more present mind, transforming our relationship with daily life. Instead of getting lost in worries, we find moments of peace and clarity, even in the simplest activities. Acceptance, in turn, teaches us that it's possible to handle thoughts without fighting them, reducing mental fatigue and promoting a sense of lightness. These benefits reflect not only a calmer mind but also a more balanced and healthy life. By practicing these techniques, you're investing in your well-being in a more serene way to face challenges. In the next and final segment, we'll conclude with an inspiring message and a call to action, encouraging you to start this transformation in your life today. How many times have you found yourself lost in a wave of thoughts that seems impossible to control? Sometimes, by recalling past situations or worrying about what's yet to come, we end up trapped in a cycle that only increases anxiety and stress. These repetitive thoughts consume our energy and, often, even our sleep. Now, imagine if there were a way to deal with this mental load, to find peace even amidst this confusion of ideas. In this video, I want to share an inspiring story with you, a Buddhist story that reveals a simple yet profound secret about how we can free ourselves from the weight of mental rumination. This ancient teaching shows us how to cultivate mindfulness and acceptance, two practices that help us set these thoughts aside and make space for a calmer mind. Throughout this video, you will learn practical strategies to apply these teachings in your daily life, allowing you to experience more serenity and mental clarity. So, if you're looking to transform your relationship with your own thoughts, stay with me. Let's start this journey together. The excess of thoughts is an experience many of us are familiar with. It's like a wheel that keeps spinning in our minds, bringing back old worries and creating new imaginary scenarios, often filled with uncertainty and fear. This cycle of rumination not only drains our time and energy but also pulls us away from the present, disconnecting us from what's truly happening around us. When we get trapped in our thoughts, our body starts reacting to this agitated mental state. We may feel physical tension, headaches, fatigue, and our breathing becomes short and heavy. These reactions are a response to the mental stress caused by excessive thoughts, and the impact can be profound, leading to anxiety and even more serious health issues in the long run. This habit of constant rumination keeps us in a state of alertness and worry, preventing us from relaxing and enjoying the present moment. But the problem is that we often can't turn off this mental wheel on our own. These thoughts become an automatic pattern that's hard to break, leaving us feeling as though we are at the mercy of our own minds. But what if there were a way to quiet this wheel, a way to slow down and let the mind find peace without the constant pressure to analyze and predict everything? This is the transformation that mindfulness and acceptance can offer. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next, with the help of a powerful Buddhist story that sheds light on this process. To illustrate how we can transform our relationship with incessant thoughts, I want to share an ancient Buddhist story with you. It brings us a simple yet profound lesson about the mind and the path to inner peace. The story goes that, one day, a young disciple approached a wise Buddhist monk and said, "Master, my mind is in chaos. I can't stop thinking. Every time I try to concentrate or find peace, a new thought arises. I feel lost, as if I'm a prisoner of my own thoughts. What should I do?" The master looked at the young man with a gentle smile and said, "Come with me." Without question, the disciple followed the master to a stream near the temple. The water was crystal clear, and they could see the stones and plants at the bottom. The master then asked the young man to stir the water with his hands. Obediently, he did as he was asked, and soon the stream, once clear, became murky and hard to see through. The master waited a few moments, then said, "Now, stop stirring and just watch." Confused, the young man stopped and kept looking at the water. Gradually, the particles of dirt began to settle, and the water became clear again. "Do you see?" said the master. "When you stop stirring the water, it becomes clear again. The same happens with your mind. The more you try to push away or control thoughts, the more turbulent it becomes. But if you simply observe, without fighting, it calms down on its own." The young disciple remained silent, reflecting on the master's words. He realized that the solution to his problem wasn't to fight his thoughts or try to control them by force. Instead, it was to learn to observe and accept their presence, like watching the course of a river. This practice of not interfering, but of accepting and observing, is the first step toward true mental peace. The story of the stream reveals that true mental peace doesn't come from fighting our thoughts, but from learning to observe them calmly and letting them flow naturally. With the practice of mindfulness and acceptance, we create space for a more serene mind and a life marked by balance and tranquility. This practice, though simple, has the power to profoundly transform our relationship with the mind. If you've ever found yourself trapped in a cycle of incessant thoughts, remember that there is another way. Try setting aside a few minutes each day to apply these practices, allowing yourself just to observe without attempting to control. Over time, you'll begin to notice that the mind naturally calms down, and your thoughts lose the power to dominate your emotions and well-being. Now, I invite you to share your experiences and reflections on this path to serenity. Leave a comment below and let us know if you've tried mindfulness and acceptance practices, or how they might help in your life. And if you know someone who could benefit from this message, share this video with them. Let's journey together toward a more peaceful mind.